Time for another stock review. This time, Mobix Labs, ticker symbol MOBX. We're going to go through the full analysis on this stock so you can decide whether it's a stock to buy, own or sell. Can you make money? Does it all add up? Have you done the numbers? Does it all make sense for you? Does it fit into your budget? The economy is quite dicey at the moment. Does this stock make sense for you? This is Mobix Labs. In this review, we're going to cover quite a bit of detail, but unfortunately, there's not a huge amount available because it's pre-revenue acquisition company. I've got the latest audits here. We can look through that. I can also show you the short interest. I can also show you the balance sheet and how much money it has. I'll come over to this one here. See who's buying, selling on the inside. We'll also take a little look at the website. This won't be as comprehensive as many of my other analysis videos because it isn't that much information because it's pre-revenue and it's an acquisition company. We've had Fabrizio live on the show a couple of times, the CEO of the company, otherwise known as Fabian. And we are happy to report he's on the road to recovery. He wasn't very well at all. You know, he's been on the show and I have contact with him directly. And he wasn't too well. And people were quite concerned. And the stock price did take a downward turn. Anyway, let's show you the company. Let's start from the beginning. It's down 92% since it IPO'd. And it's been bouncing up and down a little bit. You can see there's some trading volatility there. But what is it? Let's start from the beginning. As I said before, this will not be a comprehensive review. There just isn't the data available, but I'll give you what we have. So please tap the like button if you'd like to support the channel and you'd like to be reminded of future content, and click subscribe and ring the bell. Everybody who subscribes to this channel before 100,000 will be in for a treat. Yes, 81,993, nearly 82,000, just 18,000 to go before we get to 100,000 subscribers. Can you imagine? That's a whole of Wembley Stadium. So consider subscribing if you like live content, unedited, made like this. Right, Mobix Labs. What is Mobix Labs? Let's take a look, because you can see IPO back here in, that date was December 2023. So it's a new company. Now, it's been around for a while, and they have lots of experience, and they have people who have partnered with them that have been around for quite a while. This is an acquisition company teaming up with strategic partners. It's very different than just a regular company. Their business is about teaming up with strategic partners to supply their equipment and software and technologies to them. Let me open it up. So this is a very new, innovative stock. Mobix Labs operates as a semiconductor company. It develops wireless and connected solutions that are designed to cater to a broad range of applications in markets including 5G infrastructure, satellite communications, automotive, consumer electronics, e-mobility, healthcare, infrastructure, and defense. The company was founded in 2020 and is headquartered in California. Now, you may remember when Fabian or Fabrizio came on the show, you will know that when you go into an airport and you walk through those scanners where you put your arms up like that and you turn around, that 5G connectivity sending what's in there to the systems is Mobix. Didn't realize that, did you? So when you think of 5G, you probably think of cell towers. You don't think of moving data around quickly. So with AI, eventually, our homes and everything that we come into contact with will be communicating information and data really quickly over the 5G network, moving things virtually instantly. And so data transference, I mean, when you think about, when you look at the futuristic films like when we looked at like Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger, remember that? They would walk around their cities and there was information everywhere and it would scan you and the information with you would be sent immediately and everything was moving instantly. Everything was instant technology for data transfer. Well, that's where Mobix comes in. So for AI and NVIDIA, eventually, when we all have some kind of AI NVIDIA device at home, some of you already do, and smart homes get smarter and do a lot more things, data transferring is where it's at. That's what Mobix does. The company was sorry, I've already read that. Now you can see here it says Philip Sansone. That's because he's a standing in CEO. Fabrizio has stepped down. I don't know if that's going to remain like that. Time will tell. If you're buying at a margin, of course, it's 100% maintenance requirement. It's a risky stock, right? It's one of those you win it all or you lose it all. It's one of those high risk, high reward stocks. Volume is very, very low. As you can see, not a lot of action in this stock. Market cap 37 million. It's a very small company. But is it small, or is it simply everyone has sold the stock and it's gone down on the stock price? Well, we'll find out in a minute. You can see insiders have been buying it recently. This is very important. Significant buying. That is a very bullish sign. 6 million very recently just bought in. We can actually click on that and we can see who that was. Philip Sansone, the interim CEO. A cumulative of shares via grant or award. Now, what does that mean? He's been given 1 million shares, if you can see that there. So he didn't buy 1 million shares. He was given. That's his compensation. Now, that's why this information is so important, because you might go, oh, wow, that's great. Insiders are buying 1 million shares. We love all that, until you realize that's his compensation. So we need to understand that. And I hope by showing that information, you now do, and it makes sense. All right. It was his grant or award for working there. All right. So there you go. That's important. That's what that is. That's why we have to look. No point just going, oh, wow, this is great. All that, but no, you have to understand where that comes from. And now we do, right? Let's carry on going. Let's come back to here. Scroll down a bit more. Now you can see the earnings. We were on the earnings call. We actually took part in an earnings call, and we spoke directly with the team. As you can see, it's been declining, and it's not been getting better since we've replaced Fabrizio. But there it is. It's going down. It's a tough one to be in right now, but that could be a time when you buy the company. We've seen this before, and this is how Warren Buffett operates. Let's look at the business from where we can. So we go over and look at the website, tap the like button if you like this so far, and consider subscribing to the channel. We might hit 82,000 during this live stream. Would be really, really exciting. Let's have a quick look and see where we are. We are at 81,993. All right. So here shows you some of the wireless connectivity. They're in military and defense, wireless communications, talked about the airports. They're in EVs, medical and healthcare. Let me just scroll that across there. Aerospace. This would interest Vaz. This is the website, very clean, very tidy. Gives you some information. Let's click on what it says for investors. And let's have a look. There's what they say here, the corporate profile. At Mobix, we're committed to transferring connectivity by partnering closely with our customers to deliver advanced semiconductor. This is what I'm talking about. They are an acquisition company. They're all about partnering with other people. So in other words, they could go to NVIDIA, for example. We actually mentioned that on one of our interviews. They could partner with NVIDIA and be a supplier, provide certain parts for certain things they do. That's what they do. They bring their technology to other people and work with them. Based in Irvine, California, we specialize in 4 key areas: EMI interconnect solutions for secure aerospace and GPS systems, active optical cables for high-speed AI data center interconnects 5G IC solutions from mmWave Communications and wireless system solutions, including joint design and manufacturing services for RF technologies, serving customers in 5G radar and imaging sensors. Through deep collaboration and innovation, we're shaping the future of connectivity. Now, this is really important. It's a sector that we are obviously interested in because we like NVIDIA here on the show, and you've got to connect it all wirelessly. And that was one of the things I put to Fabrizio on the show, and he was very much interested in that. Let's have a look at their numbers, their recent consolidated balance sheet. If we look here, now this is in thousands, not millions or billions. It's a small company, so 781,000 is in cash. 781,000 in cash, up from 266,000 in 2024. Their accounts receivable, 1679. This is all in thousands. If you want to pause the screen at any point, you can. This is their balance sheet. Inventory, 1,106 in thousands. All this is in thousands. Prepaid expenses and other current assets, 404. Total current assets, 3970. So total assets is 36,534. Just write it down from 39,088. Just gives you an idea there. Total stockholders' equity, 342, down from 5530, again in thousands. Total liabilities and stockholders' equity, 36,534, down from 39,088. Okay, there's their basic balance sheet, liabilities and stockholders' equity. If you wanted to pause that at any point and make it nice and clearer for you, I've got this balance sheet. There you go. If you want to pause that and zoom in, you can, and you can see everything there. Let me just make it a bit. There we go. Spot on. Okay. Now then, the company itself, it has a short interest of 1.63. So no one's really shorting this stock. And you think they would, wouldn't you? When the stock is so low, of course, when it gets lower, how much lower can it go? It can always go lower. People often say, well, if it's down 92%, which it is, it can't go down any lower, can it? It can only go 8% lower and it's zero. That's not how it works at all. It can go down 92% tomorrow and it can go down 92% the next day. And it can go 92% down the next day until it's a number that is just, not sustainable anymore, and the business just folds up. But it can keep going down. So the fact is, we've only got 1.63% of short interest. You would assume if it was so rubbish and so bad, we'd have more short interest, but we don't. So there's some positivity there. Forward PE, we can't give it a forward PE. We just don't know. At this point in time, we just don't know. And when I look at the other balance sheet, the other details here, by the way, what I've shown you so far, I should probably show you, is using Seeking Alpha. Seeking Alpha is software that costs thousands of dollars to get this, the pro plans and all the rest of it. If you look at the link I've just put in the chat or below in the description of the video, also pinned to the comments, you will see a link to Seeking Alpha, where without my link, you might get a discount. It won't be as good and you won't get a free trial. This way you can try it. You don't have to pay anything. You can try it out. Strongly recommend you do. The next bit of software I'm going to show you is Alpha Spread. Alpha Spread, I know the CEO. This is very popular amongst our investors. Motto, are you still in the chat? Motto is here because Motto was telling everybody this morning how wonderful this software was. He really likes it. It's a great bit of software, and it's really, really. You can get it for free. My members can get it for free. But if you want to review more stocks and get that whole package, it's only a few bucks. It actually makes my membership for free. So strongly recommend everyone get Alpha Spread. All right. Anyway, talking of Alpha Spread, let me show you what we have now on this company. It doesn't do a great deal, because there isn't the numbers to analyze. So when we look at it, there is no intrinsic value? There isn't, because it's pre-revenue. We don't know what it is. We can't just make it up. So we don't have that. If we scroll down, revenue, we don't have any. We don't have any information. Operating income. This is purely an acquisition company. It's a long-term investment. You are taking the breaking technology that they have, teaming up with big companies like Nvidia and other people like that, and waiting for their moment, essentially. If you believe in this technology, this is what you do. You can buy a company here for pennies and it become hundreds of dollars a share. You just don't know yet, right? Operating income is up 9%. Net income down 17%. Free cash flow up 15%. Operating cash flow up 15%. EPS, earnings per share, is down. Right. Balance sheet. 9.4 million in assets. Liabilities is 3.3. That's a fair bet. That's a good way round. Short-term debt, 1 million. So like 30%. You can see there, look, 32%. We can live with that. When rates come down, they'll certainly benefit from that. Assets, 9.4. 40,000 in cash. It's okay. I'd rather them have assets than just a load of cash. So I can live with that. Scroll down. You can see there's nothing here to share with you. One of those businesses that you are taking a punt, really. Where's it going to go? Profitability, 38. So it makes some money, but unmeasurable, really. But it's not zero. Certainly not 90% either. Solvency, 56%. Now, that's really important because you can buy the company with a very good indication that it's not going bust, at least in the short, medium term. Long term, nobody knows. But in the short, medium term, you can invest in this and feel relatively comfortable. Okay. It all comes down to, with this stock, see, there's nothing else here. There's no Wall Street analysis. You can see I'm the only one who's really covering the news. These are my videos on the website. You can see them actually, they're sharing them out. There's very little information. So what you do with a company like Mobix is you read all their filings, you read all their news, and this is where seeking alpha is so important, alpha spread as well, but mainly seeking alpha. It will tell you when you look for Mobix, say, let me show you what I mean. I'm in Mobix now. And every time they file something, every time they have a bit of news, every time they speak to a business and do another deal, you're looking at what they're doing. You're looking at the technology. But like a pharmaceutical stock, people invest in pharmaceuticals, high risk, high reward. One trial goes wrong, people die, they don't break through, they don't find the new cure for cancer, Alzheimer's, whatever. It's all over. But if they do, then massive reward. Now, a company like this is the same. You want to be reading this on Seeking Alpha. You want to go into Mobix and you want to be constantly looking at what's going on. Who they're doing business with, what's going on, what's the partnerships, how's the technology progressing, that kind of stuff. That's how you make an informed decision on a stock business like Mobix. So there we go. We're going to end this review by hoping that Fabrizio Fabian, he has two names he's known as, for good reason, not bad reason. We wish him a speedy recovery. We know that this has been a difficult time for him, the CEO of the company being so unwell. But as you can see, there is an interim CEO. So the company's running as normal. All right, so there we go. There is Mobix Labs. I hope that's of some help. Not much information. I'm just more of a structure, how you should look at it, how you should go forward if you're going to invest. High reward for stocks like this, and that's why you might take an investment, but you make sure that you don't overdo it. Click above my head for all the links. Down below in the description, if you look down here, you will see the comments under the video. You'll see more links of all the things I've shared, which is the Seeking Alpha, the Alpha Spread, and everything else that you need. Also, I've got over here, I've got the full playlist of Mobix, of all the things you might be interested in. And down here, the full Alpha Spread playlist. That's all the reviews that I've always done, and you can go and check them out for all the different companies. Okay, until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.